Hello everyone. Now I'd like to present a comparative analysis of retail banking and fintech expenditure on bank performance in Nigeria. But before I start to present that, let me introduce myself. My name is Gandelisa Livo. So now I will talk about similarities from the two journals. First, research context. Both studies focus on the performance of commercial bank in Nigeria. The second dependent variable, both use return of asset or ROA to measure bank profitability. The third methodology, both employ panel regression analysis, includes in, including fixed and random effect models. For purpose to evaluate how different financial strategy retail banking on fintech investment affect bank performance. Less quantitative approach, but use numerical or statistical methods for data analysis. Next, I would like to talk about a comparison between the two journal article by Berene and Ekindut et al. Based on key aspect of their research. The first focus, Berene focused on traditional retail banking strategy and its impact on performance, while Ekindut et al. Emphasized vintage expenditure, particularly how costs relate to technology affect profitability. Next, theory. Bereni used clear theoretical foundations, bank lead theory and profitability theory, highlighting the role of bank in financial inclusion. On the other hand, Eckington et al. Used a empirical approach grounded in real-world vintage investment analysis without specifying a central theoretical. Third, a data type binary relied solely on secondary data from 2009 to 2018. In contrast, Eckington et al. Employed mixed data, survey, and secondary financial reports spanning 2008 to 2023. Fourth, sample. Binary analyzed 16 list Nigerian commercial bank, while Eckington et al. Worked with 9 to 7 Nigerian deposit money bank from a total of 14. The fifth, data tools. Bernier used a few 9.0 econometric regression models, meanwhile Eckington et al. Applied ANOVA descriptive statistic and regression models are more self-taught. The last significant predicators for Bereni, the significant factor increasing ROA were bank size and competition, but for Eckington et al., software and infrastructure costs had a negative impact on ROA, meaning that tech spending may not always lead to immediate financial gains. So overall, while both studies aim to understand what drives profitability in Nigerian banks, Their approaches, traditional versus digital, so very different paths and outcomes. Next, theoretical background. The first journal by Bereni is grounded in Banklet theory, which suggests that banks play a central role in expanding financial inclusion. It also emphasizes profitability theory as measure of long-term sustainability. In contrast, the second journal by Eckindut et al. Does not explicitly use a singular theory, but builds on a practical and empirical framework, highlighting the role of technological spending such as software acquisitions, training, and maintenance in shaping a bank's financial outcome. Next, research methods. Both study use quantitative methods and panel regression analysis. Bernier collected secondary data from 16 Nigerian commercial banks between 2009 and 2018. Again, et al. Appointed a more comprehensive approach combining primary data from survey with secondary data from 2008 to 2023, covering 9 to 10 banks. Next, findings and result. Here's where it gets interesting. First, Bernier found that bank size and market competition significantly increased ROA. Surprisingly, traditional indicators like retail deposit ratios were not impactful. Next, Eckindut et al. Discovered that certain vintage costs, particularly software and facilities, reduced ROA in the short term, suggestion that such investment can be expensive without immediate return. The last conclusion. In conclusion, while retail banking and vintage investment both matter, their impacts are quite different. Traditional factors like bank size and competition remain relevant, but digital transformation demands a strategic approach, especially managing costs. This comparison highlights the need for banks to balance innovation with efficiency, making sure that technology investment are both sustainable and scalable. That's all for me. Thank you.